Hi, this is Jeff from SimpleForexSystem.net, and today I want to talk to you about our flagship product, which is the Forex AutoScaler MT4 Trade Manager. A trade manager that at least one person referred to as the crack cocaine of MT4 trade managers. That wasn't an insult, amazingly enough. He was just merely making the point that once you start using this trade manager, you never want to stop. Now, a lot of these videos, I'm sure you've seen them on other websites, people spend 20 minutes trying to banging you over the head over why you should buy their product. Well, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to let the product speak for itself. I just want to show you very quickly, this is the input section for the EA. There's only a few options that you have to deal with whenever you're setting up a trade. And in our case, the trade you're going to see in a moment, we're trading mini lots. I have added 3 additional trades using AutoScaler. I'm spacing them 500 pips apart, which is like a $5 move. I have a $12 stop loss. I have the incremental stop loss set at $12 with movement every $5. So if you're selling every time the buy price moves $5 in your favor, the step stop will move $5 as well. If you're buying every time the sell price moves $5, then the step stop will move $5 as well. This is a very simple setup. You can have as many as 30 trades as you like. You can put really as close or as far away as your broker will allow. It's a very simple EA. So rather than spend any more time on this, so let's go and just take a look at a live trade from a couple of days ago, the 15th of March. Now, 2 things I want to tell you about this. Number one, obviously the trade is already going. That's because I'm a technological moron, and when I went to hit the record button and then take the trade, I found that I took the trade but failed to hit the record button. So we actually joined the trade about 6 seconds, 7 seconds later. Now, there is a red line that was up here near the $12 past the original entry. It has already moved to break even. Price has moved down so far, we're already dragging the stop loss. And you're going to see that much more clearly as price continues to move down and the stop loss moves out of the sort of bevy of green entry lines and becomes a standalone red line on its own. The other thing I want to point out too is that I am seeing on this raw video that the green and the red lines are becoming very bright, then becoming very faded. And that is not a feature of the EA. I think that's probably just a factor that's involved in using the software that we're using to capture the video on the MT4 platform. So if you're buying it expecting to see some sort of like flashing green and red Christmas tree, that's not the case. The colors remain the same, and hopefully the final product will remain the same as well. Now, you can see now the red line is below all 4 entry lines. What that means is the stop loss is now sitting in profit for all 4 trades. So if price were to reverse here, you'd probably be getting out with about 50 pips on movement that, if you go back to the original stop loss, has only been about 18 to 20 pips down. But we didn't do that. We just decided to leave the stop loss in place. We didn't put in a take profit. We wanted to see how far this trade would go. Price had been ranging in a relatively tight range up to that point, so we were kind of expecting a breakout at one point or another. And when we got to a point where it looked like price was going to break out, we took the trade. Now, one more reason, just for the step stop versus just the traditional trailing stop, is that I have had very bad experiences throughout my trading career using the traditional trailing stop. The problem I've had with it is that the trailing stop gets just a little too close to price action. Price inevitably comes back in and takes me out either at a loss or somewhere very close to break even, and then typically within a moment or two will then go racing off in the direction of my original take profit, leaving me behind with nothing to show for it. I've had the step stop created essentially to get the benefit of a stop loss that will continue moving in your favor, but only in set increments. And so you buy yourself a little bit of extra room. And if you continue to watch this trade develop, you're going to see that price gets very close to the stop loss on a couple of occasions, but does not stop out. Whereas if we had been using a traditional stop loss, there's no doubt in my mind that we would have been stopped out very early on in this trade. Now, I think it still would have ended up in profit, but not where it finally ended up. There's not much more I really can say about this. I'm going to let the trade speak for itself, and so I'm going to turn off the audio, and we'll come back in at the very end, and I'll go over the kind of the final counts and everything with you at that time. Okay, I'm back, and after 5 or 6 minutes of radio silence here, you've been able to see the step stop move multiple times as price just continued in our favor on this trade. There's one more move to the downside. There it is, and now we've kind of reached the end of this trade. I was hoping for one more movement down for reasons I'll explain in a minute, but unfortunately we pulled up just about a pip and a half short, and it would have been we would have gone over the top, and the original trade would have been worth more than 100 pips. Doesn't need to be 100 pips, but that just sort of has such a nice ring to it. But as you can see, we're moving back up, and we've now closed out the trade. So it took about 13 minutes for that trade, and no, it's actually about 12 minutes, I guess it was, for that trade. And we had 4 total trades in profit. They went a total of 98, 93, 88, and 83 pips. That comes out to, honest to God, I forgot to do the math. It comes out to a lot of pips. Look, it's just a little bit under 400 pips on the day. So not bad for an 11-minute trade. And you can see now why this becomes so addictive. Now, the US 30 is a good pair to trade this on, as is NAS. The DAX, if you're in Europe and trade the German stock market, same thing. These are pairs that have a lot of 30 and 35 and 40 point moves if you trade them. And you know that already. So it's just a matter of adding AutoScaler to your trades and starting to bank multiples at one time. So hope you've enjoyed the video, and hope you pick up your own copy of AutoScaler.